2, 1. Hey everybody, thank you for watching and or listening to episode number 43 of Teddybears and Tentacles podcast. I know that it's not 43, but last time I said 42 and it was actually 43, so I'm saying 43 this time. And my name is Quinn. I'm one of the hosts of this podcast. The other host of the podcast, he is a mullet wearing individual, Skinny Rick.
Why did I do that? Yeah, I'm over here. Hey.
What's up, dude?
I'm fact checking you, bro.
Yeah, dude, we got the...
Yeah, dude, it's 44, dude.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said I know that...
Am I all of a sudden taller, or did I just...
I don't know, dude.
I don't know.
Hang on.
Man, I can, like, lean back, maybe.
Whoa.
Boy.
All right, sit up.
Also, I'm not getting any...
Dude, it's your anime hair today.
It is.
It's
I
just
woke up
making
like
your...
this. What's going on, dude?
Your headroom is like 3 inches out of the thing.
Where are my headphones? Loud. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now that...
That's out of the way.
Yeah. Now that we're done with our...
Noobing it up.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. So we have today, you can see right now in screen, new addition to the set. This thing was given to me actually on Valentine's Day, and it is a painting of a teddy bear getting tentacled, and that was painted by Kristen Russell.
Snatched up.
Yep. So thank you, Kristen, for the painting, and thank you to my lovely girlfriend, Callie, for giving it to me for Valentine's Day. And I was just lazy for
all these months.
5 months, but we got it up and now it's there. So it's in the studio. We also have, we were talking before this whole thing happened about merch. We do have a hoodie done.
Yeah, it's been done.
Yeah. So we'll post that stuff up soon. And if you guys want to,
we also got some other stuff that I bought a while back too.
Yeah.
Like before that teddy bear.
Yeah.
Sitting right over there behind you.
Oh yeah. Linkery.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we got to figure out how to put him up first.
Yeah.
So today we got a few things that I want to cover. And then afterwards we'll talk about our weeks and stuff like that. I feel like people kind of want to get into the show, and the people that'll stick around and listen to how we've been doing, they just don't care about us. And so we'll do that maybe from now on. Maybe
we should start looking at our watch time, because it'll tell you how long people will watch, and we can look and see what we're saying when they stop watching.
Yeah, it's not that long. We already passed it. But I mean, there are people who watch the whole thing though.
Dude, can I just say how cool our YouTube banner looks?
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
And I don't want to take credit for it, but I'm definitely about to, because it was my idea.
Yeah, it was Skinny Rick's idea.
I just didn't make it.
Speak of the devil. Hang on a second. Let me...
Yeah, dude. In case y'all can't see this thing, I'm going to give you a crappy view of the TV. Maybe a little bit overexposed.
Just go to our YouTube, or we can put it on the...
this camera shot is the worst every time.
I know.
There's not a time.
Yeah, get off of it.
There's not one time where we switch to that and I like it.
I know. All right. Let's get into the stuff. So we're going to start with last week.
These are in order of how you sent them to me.
So. If you're not somebody who follows who has been following the Roger Stone case, last week, President Donald Trump used his pardon power to make Roger Stone's sentence a commute instead of having him basically serve I want to say it was 4 years in the actual prison itself. He had been out for a while because of the COVID stuff. They let him go home, and I guess he was on house arrest or something. Now, with COVID still being a thing, I don't know if a commute means that Roger Stone gets to stay home, remain home under house arrest, or, what that, actually looks like. But Roger Stone is saying that he is planning on helping Donald Trump with his campaign in some form or fashion coming up in November. So let's scroll down and we'll read a little bit of this.
This looks like
This is a pretty tame picture of Roger Stone.
This looks like we might be watching like an old movie.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a few people getting murdered and they're trying to figure it out.
Well, that's him, dude. That's how he's like, he dresses like a pimp. I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of him or footage or anything like
Not
that,
really.
but he
not other than just like this type of stuff.
Yeah. So we go to Google real quick,
See if we can
Roger
find this
Stone fashion, and we'll put some pictures of this up if we find anything. So, you can see some of the stuff. He always wears those black, like circular style glasses.
Yes.
Yep. Stuff like this.
Bro, if you walk into a room looking like this, automatic respect. You have my attention.
Yeah. Scroll down some. There's a look. So like right there. Yeah, he's always wearing some.
He's always wearing something he probably shouldn't.
Some really crazy fashion.
What, dude?
Yeah, that's a Nixon tattoo on the back. He has at his house. He has a whole like display case with like a Nixon bong and stuff like that.
Dude, and the tallest hat you've ever seen.
He, at 19 years old, was called in to testify for the Watergate scandal.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. So
he's got an eye patch, but he doesn't need it.
Dude, yeah. If you don't know who Roger Stone is, there's a documentary on Netflix called "Get Me Roger Stone." It is an amazing documentary about this guy who, if you don't know about who he was, really, he was just a political operator, served under multiple administrations, both Democrat and Republican. He may or may not be responsible for a lot of stuff that's happened politically, such as Presidents Bush, not H.W. Bush, but just George Bush, him getting elected, and he's kind of the guy who for years and years had been pressuring Trump to run for office as well. So let's go ahead and go back to the original thing. We'll have had some of those pictures up. So this is Washington Post. Take it as you will. President Trump commuted the sentence of his longtime confidant, Roger Stone, on Friday, using the extensive powers of the presidency to protect a felon and political ally, while also lashing out against a years-long probe into Russia's interference into the 2016 election. The move, which the White House announced in lengthy and pugnacious statement, I've never seen that word.
Pugnacious?
Yeah. Have you heard that word?
Oh, I'm homeschooled. I for sure heard that word at one point or another.
I don't know.
I just don't remember what it means.
Yeah.
Because I remember hearing it and being like, oh, it's like when you look like a funny looking dog, but that's actually not what it means.
Yeah, but let's say that's what it looks. So let's say it's like, I don't want to say that pugs are the ugliest dogs, but let's say hypothetically they were. Okay. So hypothetically,
arguably.
So let's say the White House announced in a lengthy and very distasteful statement is the latest attempt by Trump to discredit that's probably right, though, right?
Maybe.
Basically, he's trying to, discredit Mueller's investigation. While the communication was celebrated by Trump's most stalwart supporters, the muted response by Republican lawmakers and Stone's own history as a self-described dirty trickster indicated that the president's decision to interfere with the nation's justice system could be fraught with political risk. So he is basically his crime here is perjury. So something popped up in the Mueller investigation that prompted.
It's I remember.
Hang on a second.
And I say I remember because I Googled it. It's like being eager or quick to argue or fight. So like someone who's ready for a fight, someone who's ready to take on a challenge. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I am trying to Callie may have just texted me something important. Anyway, we'll keep going here. So Trump has declared himself the president of law and order in recent weeks, used his unique and presidential authority to undermine the infamous finding by a jury that Stone broke the law multiple times by lying to Congress and obstructing justice. So, basically perjury, lying to Congress. This guy is a nightmare for lawmakers and for Congress, and really for anybody who's sitting in like one of the representative seats or anything like that. He's a political operative, so he's just a guy who politicians hire to, find dirt on the opposite party, go through laws and find loopholes. He claims credit for the Florida recount by pushing a bunch of Republicans into this vote counting building and basically demanding them to stop counting. And so, basically whenever they count these votes, they have a certain amount of time to count them. If they don't count them within that time, those votes used to not get counted. So it was in a mostly like Republican county in Florida. There were some protests and stuff going on outside. There were supposedly some like DNC operatives that went in there and stole some ballots. And Roger Stone says that he basically started the push into the building for the protesters to hold this place up and stop the votes. So this guy is probably a nightmare. Also, though, if you watch this documentary, it's hilarious. He has such a big ego. He's one of the biggest narcissists ever, but it's one of those things where at the end of the documentary, you're like, is this guy a good guy or a bad guy? I can't really figure it out.
Maybe he's neither, dude.
And of course, he is also a part of...
maybe he's just a guy.
Yeah.
An average man.
Of course, he's also a part of Black, Manafort, and Stone. The famous lobbying firm that came around during the Reagan administration. So, I'm trying right now. I'm waiting for her to send me something back. She just sent me... Callie just sent me a text that said only releasing names. And I know that Ghislaine Maxwell had another lawsuit hearing, or I'm not sure, today, and a judge was going to be ruling whether or not to release that information. So
who knows, dude?
Give me just a second here.
Maybe we got that first scoop for you, but also maybe not, because it really depends on when you're listening to this.
3 days ago.
Maybe you're listening to it in the past. Maybe you're listening to it in the future. I don't know. Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah, well, if... I'm
going to cut to the bad one.
No, don't do it yet.
I did it.
Dude, come on, man.
I had to. I didn't know what to do. All right,
okay, so I can't find the list right now, but if you're watching this today and they do unseal these docs, then you'll probably also be watching a podcast tomorrow or the following day.
We can also probably just put the link in the description once we get it figured out. Okay,
well, I think that maybe what she's talking about is that they are going to they did rule to release the names from the Ghislaine Maxwell. So if you're not aware, and we'll go ahead and do this right now. We've kind of the Roger Stone thing is kind of so. Skinny Rick and I were talking earlier, and the relevance of this particular these particular documents is that this portion of the case, the time dating as well as when the lawsuit was filed, dates back to almost 12 years ago, which puts that date outside of the Trump political landscape. So we There might be some foolery around the media covering this stuff, but
Timothy foolery.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Timothy
that
Fowlery.
this portion of documents, at least from the Ghislaine Maxwell perspective, this is the most important stuff that we've gotten. It's also a pretty high likelihood at this point that it's going to be a good chunk of time until we can get the actual Epstein documents from Palm Beach released. Maybe releasing Ghislaine Maxwell stuff will prompt further investigation, and we'll get the Epstein stuff sooner. But it wouldn't surprise me if we don't see that for a while. So these are just the most important chunk of documents that we're going to get for, I'd say, the time being. The way that this stuff has kind of moved so far, it's been moving slow. What's up? Oh, okay. You got a look on your face that
I'm just sorry. I got a text from my dad. I was just confused what he meant. But
okay,
it's fine.
Yeah. So more or less, this is an important time, and so a few little things have been popping up, Ghislaine Maxwell related.
I mean, it feels like we're making progress as far as like actually getting to know some of this information, but it also feels like it's been the slowest thing ever, dude. I mean, just years of, and like I haven't even been involved until really like last year or whenever it was that we started talking about it.
The reality of it is it's been basically a year. You know, it's been around a year since Epstein was arrested. I want to say, what's the death date? August 8th. Let me see. So August 10th. So it hasn't even been a year since Epstein died.
Well, yeah,
and
but
we're already
I
seeing
mean, just talking about like
it feels like it's been
talking
forever,
about like
dude.
Well, I mean, he also was arrested, before that. So like his whole deal has been this kind of like slow crawl. But, who knows? Maybe Ghislaine Maxwell won't be able to handle it and will kill herself, dude. Which at that point, I don't know how anyone looks at it and goes, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
At that point, I feel like everyone's going to be like, all right, dude.
I think,
all right.
Okay, so I want to be clear about this for the people who don't know where I personally stand with this stuff. As far, and I'm going to explain what this stuff is so that there's no confusion around what I'm talking about. So the deep state, whenever you hear people talk about it, what they are referring to are politicians, corporations, and outside influence that we as a people, we as voters, have no control over, yet this group of people has huge impact on our country, on the world, and a lot of times on our political perspective as well. So, deep state stuff is military industrial complex, the amount of money that companies like Lockheed Martin and other large weapons manufacturers get, or the pull that they get from lobbying. And you can see this in the Bush administration after 9/11 with Dick Cheney and the Afghan war that we are more or less still in at this point. Although it was 16 out of the 19 hijackers from 9/11 were Saudi nationals. That's outside influence into our government that we have no control over, that at that point they are lobbying to get their motives and their intents pushed. Same thing with like the medical industrial complex, the pharmaceutical industry, intelligence community agencies, not the agencies as a whole, but private contractors like some operations within the CIA that are either covert ops or overt ops that are running different operations within the U.S., which is not illegal, but the CIA's jurisdiction is supposed to fall outside of the U.S., not within the U.S. So NSA, Department of Homeland Security, these different private security contractors and stuff like that, they have huge political influence in our country. And again, because they're private sector, we can't do anything about these guys. You can't vote them out. You can't keep them from putting money in politicians' pockets. Anything like that. So whenever I'm talking about the deep state, that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. The media also, deep state, a lot of the time, pushing narratives, trying to get, the majority of people to believe certain things, groupthink.
It's kind of spooky, dude. Cause
it's mass manipulation.
I mean, it's kind of spooky because it's just like really just an advanced form of like old, you look at old World War II propaganda stuff. It's like back then, we didn't know what was happening over there. Yeah. We see a couple of, inspirational little films and maybe some posters, and we think that, we think that we carried the war on our back. Yeah. And that's,
and the way that these things are evident is if you look at huge corporations such as Amazon. Amazon owns Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post, which is a left-wing
news source.
So you cannot say that these huge private sector corporations don't have political influence in our country. Bill Gates, we've talked about this before, spent $200 million on the ABC newsroom in Florida. Now, at the time, maybe equipment was less accessible and more expensive, but
no, I think they just filled the walls with gold, really. That's what happened.
If you look at, I don't know, to the layperson that walked into this studio that we're in right now, it would look like one of the most technical things ever and $1 billion. But
really,
the reality of it is I saved for 6 months and bought half of the equipment, and your dad had the other half. And so, for $15,000, you could build this studio, you know. And if you have a room, you can.
No, but maybe not even that much, really.
Yeah, less than that.
How much is a microphone?
These?
Yeah.
These are $400 a piece.
Yeah, you could do it for less than. For how much did you say?
Like $15,000.
Yeah, you could do it for less than that.
Yeah, you can probably do it for less than that.
You can do it for less than that.
We're talking about computers. We're talking about monitors, all that stuff. That stuff racks up after a while.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I'm thinking about the cameras and stuff. These cameras are what, $1,200?
Yeah, I'm talking about a fully functioning, studio computer to edit from.
Yeah, I guess you got to count in
doodads,
the TV, and we put
all that stuff.
We got some decorations.
We've got a $1,000 flamethrower, or how much is it? $500 flamethrower.
I don't know how much it is.
Why do we have it?
Fun, dude. It's for me, bro. It's for me to snuggle with sometimes.
Yeah. So
close. I'm gonna just hold it.
We say all that to say that these private corporations have huge influence. That's what we're talking about. That's what I'm talking about whenever I'm talking about deep state. And so unfortunately, the deep state is filled with a lot of people that take a left-wing stance. Same thing with the child sex trafficking rings that keep getting I think you had 5 busted last year. All of them had connections to the Clinton Foundation or to different DNC entities. Now, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat either. I consider myself a libertarian. I'm anti-crazy. I'm anti-BS, which that just so happens to be
everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere right now. And so I'm not going to sit here and pretend like child sex trafficking doesn't happen within members of the Republican Party either. The Franklin cover-up in Nebraska back in the whatever that guy that was running
ages.
Yeah, that guy was trying to be either governor or president or something like that, but he was a Republican, and there were a lot of high-level Republicans that were involved in that cover-up as well. So for Ghislaine Maxwell and this whole situation, if they do it, if they kill her, it's the last one they'll ever be able to do, in my opinion. I mean, how many of those are they going to get off with? How many Epsteins are they going to get off with before, people are protesting outside of Langley?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a matter of time. So you've got hundreds, potentially thousands of girls that aren't going to see justice from Epstein directly. And Ghislaine Maxwell is kind of their last hope for this thing. And
she's kind of hanging out on the edge.
Yeah. I mean, we've said it before. The Epstein thing woke a lot of people up. People are a lot more susceptible to calling out BS whenever you see it in politics and all that. And I'm grateful for it, dude. So, few things that happen around her. You had Trump issue that weird statement wishing her well this week. Last week we talked about this secret husband, which I still can't find a lot of information on. For some reason, Geraldo Rivera was dude, I don't even know what to... So this dude is a journalist that's been around forever. He tweeted something the other day saying she's, what, you're not going to offer her bail, that she was doing this 25 years ago. It's like, what? I mean,
I guess.
Think about cancel culture and how quick everybody is willing to throw someone in jail over something that they did 30, 40 years ago.
Tweeted something and we're bringing it up 8 years later. That's a little different.
Yeah.
That's like like you said something stupid 8 years ago. Maybe we can let it go. Dude, this lady recruited underage girls.
Yes.
And brought them into these situations where they were doing sexual stuff with these older, politicians, whatever, these powerful people. And it's just we're going to just forget about that just because it was a while ago.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and say it because I haven't officially said it on this.
Say it, dude. I dare you.
I fully believe that Ghislaine Maxwell is Jeffrey Epstein's handler. So now what we're talking about isn't somebody who got accused of touching some kids 25 years ago. Now we're talking about
someone who was running the business.
Yes, a person from Europe whose career is a socialite.
Dude, how European is that?
Who is a intelligence operative and the handler of the person that everyone considers to be, one of the worst sex traffickers in the history of the world. And so now we're not dealing with something that potentially happened 25 years ago. Now you're dealing with, someone who is running a honeypot blackmail operation that failed, and her boyfriend ended up having sex with kids for 25, 30 years, maybe even longer. I mean, that's what we're dealing with. In my opinion, she doesn't deserve bail. She doesn't. You give her bail, she disappears or she gets killed.
Yeah,
that's it.
Or both.
That's all that's going to happen. And here's a good indication of this. Not to say that these things are directly related, but go ahead and pull up the judge that, her family, whatever.
What are you talking about?
Salas, I want to say her name. Yeah. Do that.
This?
Just the first. Just hit enter. Okay. So this is a story of. Go ahead and pull up something that I can. Go ahead and do the NPR one. Yeah. So So this lady, Judge Salas. I'm Esther Salas. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing her last name correctly, but they had a man dressed in a FedEx delivery guy outfit go to her house, knock on the door. Her son opens the door, shoots and kills her son, and then goes and critically wounds the father. Now, I haven't followed this story for the last day or two, but the husband at the time was in critical condition. I don't know if he's still up. Now, the other thing about this is where the news fails hardcore and gets people freaked out and manipulates narratives and stuff like that. Because most people will see a news story like this, they click on it, and then they go, oh, that's horrible. Click off of it. Okay, I've looked at about 5 of them. 2 out of the 5. This one right here says that her son was 20 years old. 2 of the 5 that I looked at said that he was a first grader with no age. That's a big deal whenever you're someone who's not into this type of stuff to read. That's a difference. That's, what are we talking about?
It says 20-year-old right here.
13 years difference. Yeah, I know, but I read two other ones.
No way. It's more than that. I was in 3rd grade by the time I was 7.
3rd grade is like 9 years old. So kindergarten, you should be 5 or 6. 1st grade, you would be 6 or 7.
Dang, boy, I got in there early.
Yeah. So let me read this real quick. The alleged killer of the son of New Jersey federal judge may also have been involved in the shooting death of a men's rights attorney in California earlier this month, news reporter said Wednesday. Attorney Mark Angelucci was killed July 11th in San Bernardino County. Just over a week later, a man dressed as a FedEx driver showed up at the home of U.S. District Judge Esther Salas, shot and killed her son, 20, wounded her husband, who survived. Authorities said the evidence linked to alleged perpetrator in New Jersey shooting, Roy Den Hollander, with Angelucci's killing as well, So this Roy Hollander dude, I looked up him some. So if you can really quickly Google that guy's name. Yeah. This dude, he was an older man, very anti-feminist guy, sort of a men's rights activist, if that's something that you believe exists. But I
believe men's rights exist.
So let's try and scroll down some. So look up like jobs or something like that. And let's see. Go ahead and click the New York Times one.
This one?
Yeah. Keep on going. I don't know if we're going to be able to look at it. Okay. One of this guy's jobs was some job for a Russian security contractor named like Kroll or something like that. So this dude has had some interesting jobs, but just out of coincidence, maybe not, this lady, Esther Salas, the judge, had also just like a week before been assigned to a case involving some of Epstein's financials with a Deutsche Bank. And so then the lady ends up dead, and a few other people have as well. A plastic surgeon who had worked on Jeffrey Epstein died, as well as
everyone's out here dying, dude.
Somebody else that was handling his financials as well. When you say died,
you mean like they took a tumble off the cliff, or like
suicided.
Someone dressed as a FedEx person shot him.
2 shots to the head.
Yeah, 2 shots.
Pronounced suicide.
Yeah, suicide. Dude, that crap.
I want to do this while we're
my special boy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like one of his distant relatives got that 2 shots to the head, and they declared it suicide. And they were like, "Wait a second, how do you pull the trigger a second time?" And then the people were like, "Oh, I don't know."
Special boy, are you talking about the AIDS victim or the opposite of the AIDS victim? Is it a victim?
It's not it's not the one that he lives here still.
Okay.
He's not the one that left me.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to be clear who we're talking about here. Why is that funny?
It's just, I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. One of them severely underweight, and one of them is, the other one's not severely overweight. One looks like a potential AIDS victim. One doesn't. That's it.
Okay.
I don't know how that was. How was that confusing?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
All right.
Yeah. Anyways, as you were saying.
That was not a gay joke, if that's what you're trying to.
I mean, it was a little bit.
Yeah. One looks unhealthy. One doesn't look as healthy as the other. Wait, that is not right.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right.
One of them lives here, and the other one doesn't.
Yeah. All right. Just go back to your story. We're going to cut all this out.
No, what?
Yeah, you do it, dude.
Yeah, my boy, I don't remember the story. He told me it like 2 years ago, but he was like, yeah, like my uncle or something that was involved in a conspiracy. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, like they declared him as the camera. They declared him as it's like a suicide, but he had two shots to the head, and they were like, wait, that doesn't add up because you can't shoot yourself twice. Yeah. And then the people were like, no, I mean maybe you could if you timed it right, if you were quick enough.
That's where I think that people get the idea for like mediums and stuff like that and psychics. Like there's just, even me hearing that story, it's like, dude. I just love to be able to ask that guy like maybe 3 questions.
Here's the thing. I'm never going to someone else for magic. If I'm going to do something like that, I'm doing it myself.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but you understand what I'm saying. How somebody ends up like, my mom was murdered whenever I was 6 and I never got like closure kind of thing. Same thing with Epstein. No.
If I'm doing a speak with dead or whatever it's called, that I'm doing it myself.
Okay. Wow.
I'm gonna read a few books.
Yeah.
Go spend a couple months out in like some third world country.
Yeah. Eat some mushrooms.
Yeah.
Dance in the moonlight.
Yeah.
Let's do this while we're recording, so that I guess we can't really screen grab, but this is how you do this is how you start a deep dive right here. So go to the one that we were just on, the NPR one, and let's look up Mark Angelucci, and let's type in Epstein after ones. MARC ANGELUCCI Epstein. Looks, people's already looking it up.
Because these people, they want to know, dude.
So, keep going down. Click that one that says July 4th, 2020 on that same Reddit feed that says the red pill attorney killed last night.
This? Wait, this.
Yeah, click that. Keep going down. All right, stop.
What, read this?
It's California home. Mark was a high-profile lawyer, including incredible men's and father's right advocate and fist warrior. Many knows him as the Red Pill movie. Keep going down. Oh, so this guy was in a movie. All right. Well, this is how we would start the dive on this stuff. I'm not going to take up too much time trying to find a connection right now, but basically you would start by going, all right, here's this other guy supposedly that this guy killed.
Let's see if they know if there's been any other connections.
Well, the first thing that we want to find out, what's the motive for the murder of Esther Salas? You know, this guy was a men's rights activist. He was also a big blogger. He had talked bad about her, making some racial comments in one of his blogs. Yet the fact still remains that she was handed this Epstein stuff a few days beforehand. So you don't want to make the connection to figure out that motivation. If this guy is suspected for killing that other guy, the best thing that we can do is try to make a link between Jeffrey Epstein and Mark Angelucci. Not make a link, but find a link.
Yeah, I get
that would clear up at least a little bit the potential motive for the reason that he had killed Esther Salas. So anyway, that's kind of the stuff that is going on with the Epstein deal right now. I'm going to look one more time while we're still recording and see if names have been dropped. Okay, so nothing still. So the next thing that I want to talk about was, and this is a CNN article. I'm only using this just for the point of the story, not because I'm a CNNer. So scroll down a little bit. This one is titled U.S. Moves to Shut China's Houston Consulate Draws Questions About Political Motives. And so what a consulate is you could think of it sort of like a U.S. embassy that you see in other countries. So there's a China one in Texas. The U.S. demanded Wednesday that China shut its Houston consulate within 72 hours, triggered Chinese threats of retaliation. The latest escalation between the two nations as Trump administration intensifies its campaign against Beijing in the run-up to November's elections. Deputy Secretary of State Steve Bugin pointed Wednesday to a growing number of disputes between the U.S. and China over Beijing's increasingly hardline and aggressive actions that have led the administration to take action, including closing the consulate in Houston. So you still have all the rights stuff going on in Hong Kong. The protests have started back up. So, again, if you are not aware what that was over, it was over a man who,
well,
what's up?
No, you're talking about the guy who got shot?
What guy?
Never mind. Keep going. I thought you were saying something else.
About the Epstein thing?
No, about the riots.
No. Not
riots.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were. They were protests.
Yeah. So what happened to spark the protests in Hong Kong last year was a man in, I want to say, Taiwan, which is technically a thing of China.
It wasn't it like he got taken away and like disappeared or something?
Yeah, well, he killed his girlfriend and then fled to Hong Kong, and then mainland China was trying to set up an extradition treaty so that if you were in Hong Kong and you committed a crime in mainland China, they would be able to extradite you to mainland China, which the big difference here is that Hong Kong is a capitalist area and China is communist.
It is not.
So, you know, China is obviously known for things like
communism.
Communist stuff, concentration camps where they try and reprogram Muslims, but actually steal their organs and incinerate them.
Crazy stuff, dude.
Yep. Stuff like that. Stuff like, trying to, extract deadly viruses from animals in laboratories and
then maybe
doing it with poor levels of caution, potentially
releasing
it into a portion of the city and blaming it on a wet market. They do, they may or may not do stuff like that. Stealing intellectual property, sending us devices that are more or less spying on us. So the reason that the riot started was that there was a fear that people that would go from Hong Kong to mainland China to protest would then basically just be yanked out of Hong Kong. And
that's when we had, that's what I was talking about, when we had that young man get shot by their police. And people were getting run over by motorcycles, things like that. That's crazy, dude. That is my worst nightmare, is living in a place that's like mainland China, where it's like, well, rights, what's that? And then, oh no. Yeah, you do what we say or you die. And then that's, then maybe, at 8 years old, maybe you go work in a little factory or something, get yourself a couple, what do they use? What is it called? Yen? Is that get yourself a couple of those things, put them in your pocket, go buy some some snacks, and then you
do it all over again.
do it again the next day.
Yeah. I don't know. This is a freaky kind of thing. Our a lot of our CIA stations across the world are in U.S. embassies, and so the thought of and think about the CIA and think about somewhere where, let's say we were in a country and they were attempting to make us shut our embassy and leave within 3 days. You think if the CIA is not going to throw together some 3-day operation to tie up a couple loose ends? And this is in Texas. This consulate thing is in Texas. So I'm not saying that they have intelligence that's at this place, but if I was living near that thing right now, I'd
stay inside for a minute.
Yeah. Or go on a vacation forever, potentially.
Let me ask you this. You think they got good food in the consulate?
Where, over there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, over in Texas. You think they got good food there?
I don't know. Why?
I just feel like they'd have really good Chinese food.
They might.
I mean, because if you think about it, like when I travel and I'm having to eat food from other places, while it's good, sometimes I just want a burger. Yeah. Sometimes I just want a greasy.
Are burgers better in other countries?
Freaking no.
Yeah.
That's why when people are like, America didn't invent anything, I'm like, or like any food, I'm like, yeah, but like, we basically did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
like if you made it, but you couldn't make it the best, did you really?
Yeah, I agree. Another thing along that same line of thought is
I say in other countries. Obviously, I had not tried every burger from every country.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, so far, multiple places in Europe, places in Africa, it's good.
Yeah.
But the best burger I had there was not even close to the best burger I had here. It's the same thing that I think D'Elia even said that exact same thing. Like at one point about his opener, going to like Amsterdam and getting a burger and being like, like this is good.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, you are missing the best burger.
Yeah, he like shouted out the burger place in Amsterdam or whatever. Because he had never had a burger or something like that.
Yeah.
But
because we got that Dale sauce over here, bro. I don't have that over there.
Well, it's the same thing with like, I think that we just Americanize a lot of food. Think about this. Think about my favorite food is poke.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Okay, now let me ask you this. A Hawaiian dish, whenever we were in Hawaii and you saw me eat it, what did the dish contain?
I mean, it was the same stuff as here, right?
Tuna and rice. That's it. We turn it into a, build your own Subway.
We got a couple of pickles or something.
Build your own Subway, like poke type situation.
For sure.
Poke bowl. Put some, which is delicious, by the way, but it's Americanized. Throw some mangoes and some avocado and a couple of whatever's in there.
A couple of radishes.
Yeah. But reality, like in over there in Hawaii, like almost all the dishes were pretty simple and made with the stuff that they had available, which is not avocados. I mean, it's basically like coconuts, pigs, and fish. Yeah.
Dude, I'm trying to get some more Loco Moco, dude.
Yeah.
That was, all right, for those of you who don't know, it's like this big bowl of rice, right? This big old bowl. And then you get some, just a massive freaking hamburger patty. And then you put some gravy on top of that, boy.
It's stoner food.
Dude, and 100%. Then you get some onions in there. And you get yourself a couple of fried eggs on top. Bro, that stuff, I ate the whole thing.
It's stoner
For
food.
reference, Dylan and I got the same thing. And I'm pretty sure he didn't finish his. Yeah. And I ate it all.
Yeah.
Like, bro, it was the best.
And I'm not anti-Chinetic or whatever you call it. Do they have a word for that? I know that there's anti-Semitic for Jewish.
If there is, it's not Chinetic.
Yeah, but it probably should be. I'm just saying, I would be freaking out.
Let me just clarify. That wasn't a fat joke.
Yeah.
It was just everywhere we go, Dylan gets so much food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if it was a fat joke, it would have been a fat.
It's cool,
like
dude.
No. It would have been very obvious. Because I only make fat jokes sometimes, and when I do, they hit hard. You know.
Yeah. So if y'all haven't figured it out yet, while I'm vaping, I try and get Skinny Rick to
Over here.
get off of my camera shot, but
I screwed it up though.
yeah, a bunch.
Maybe I should just start
Yeah.
doing it too, so it's balanced.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it for that. We'll have more on that as it goes, but for right now, we're gonna.
I mean, what are we're doing to this?
Yeah. So this one, we still don't know the answer to this.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to read a bunch of it. Who hacked Twitter? So from, as you know, there was, I want to say, they came out with some numbers. The numbers sounded like they were probably fake. There was like 130 something verified accounts that were hacked. That's what they said. I feel like it was probably way more than that.
All right. Here's the thing. Whoever it is that hacked Twitter, y'all hit me up, okay? Hit me up on Twitter. Just let me know what's up.
Yeah.
And I'll make a little like propaganda video for you.
Yeah.
For free.
So
Or for no money, I guess you should say.
You can do that if you want. I'm pretty sure that they can take as much money as they want from you. So
How?
you're going to do it. They hacked Twitter.
Yeah. But getting someone's money is already not that difficult. It's probably honestly easier to get my money than it is to hack Twitter. That's not the point.
Well,
I'm not asking for money. I'm saying I'll do it. Not for free, because nothing for free, for no money.
from what I understand, you will have no money afterwards. So from what I understand, this was actually
I don't have money anyways. I just have numbers on a screen that represent value. That's what I have. So it's not that big of a deal,
From what I understand, what this was a John Podesta, Anthony Weiner situation where someone actually sent them a Twitter employee, a fake password reset, and they fell for it, and that's how this happened, supposedly.
Dude, what a clever...
which is beautiful, really.
What a clever person.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say boy, because they could be a girl. Who knows?
Well, they could be a guy.
Could be them dang Russians, a whole nother breed.
Yeah.
They're more resilient,
Yeah. Dude, speaking of Russian, did I tell you about the girl at the gas station the other day?
No.
Yeah, there was a girl at a gas station. I was like walking out, and she was like outside smoking a cigarette or something like that. And I like walked into the gas station, paid for whatever I was getting, and I left. And like as I left, I was just like, "How's it going?" And she was like, "It's hot." And like I looked at her, and it was in like a very Middle Eastern accent. I couldn't tell what it was. Not Middle Eastern, Eastern Europe. And I was like, I looked at her, and she was wearing like some like booty sweatpants and like a long sleeve shirt kind of thing. And she was about my size, and I was like, "You're wearing long sleeves," and she was like, "I'm from Russia." And I was like, "Really?" And she was like, "Yeah, it's cold there." And I was like, "Okay." And I just left. left.
Dang, bro.
So, I don't know
dude.
why she was there or what she was doing, but she thought it was hot, man. She was dressed for
she was not dressed for this climate.
Yeah.
I mean, let me tell you right now, I'm trying to wear a hoodie. Anytime I can wear a hoodie, I will be wearing a hoodie. That being said, it's so hot, dude. I only brought this because I know we keep it cold in this studio. As soon as I leave, I'm wearing flip-flops for the first year of my life, dude.
Yeah.
2020, I stopped caring. I am always wearing shorts. I'm always wearing flip-flops, sometimes not even shoes, really, realistically. Yeah. It's so hot. If I go outside, I just want to go back inside.
Yeah, I hear that, dude. We went outside to spray paint something yesterday for a couple minutes, and it was probably about 7 minutes, and I was done, dude. It's 180 degrees outside.
However hot it is, before your skin starts melting, it's 10 degrees less than that.
Yeah. Well, so what's up, dude? Anything happened this week?
Yeah, we're talking about them real fans now sticking around to hear about my life.
Yeah, let's hear it, dude.
No, I've been busy. I played a little bit of Hunt, getting, that Destiny 2 installed, talking about playing some of that. Sucked at Mario Party. Was playing that a game night. Lost so bad.
Yeah.
You think you know what it feels like to lose at Mario Party? You don't, dude. Don't. Just repeatedly having my money taken from me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been playing some Hunt. I've been getting real mad because I hate queuing with randos in that game, and no one will play it with me. So I've been playing solo against teams.
Yeah.
Queuing solo into teams of 2 and sometimes into teams of 3 lobbies. And I don't really win that often. Probably once a session, maybe twice a session I'll get a win. But I get a lot of kills. It just gets tough when you're a solo. Once you get into that fight, positioning is everything, because when you got 2 people to worry about or 3 people to worry about, I can't look everywhere at once. So this from the second I fire my first shot, I have to be ready for an uphill battle. So I've been doing that to make myself think more about positioning. So this morning I couldn't fall asleep. I woke up at like 6:30 or something. Was gonna roll, go back to bed until 8, but I couldn't fall back to sleep. So I got up and played some, and yeah, I won one game, but I queued up with a guy when I did that. But yeah, I was playing and I got to the boss fight first. I was actually the first one there, and I heard the dudes coming up. They didn't know I existed. I waited. I actually shot and missed my first shot. I was really sad because the guy stopped for a second, and I pulled the trigger, and it was one of those things where I just didn't time it quite right. So he moved and the bullet just went right behind him, and he wound up trying to rush me, and I killed him on the stairs because I was upstairs. And then his buddy tried to do the same thing, tried to toss a grenade up to get me, but I just ducked behind a corner. And then when he ran up, I was just right there, dude. Got him, and then wound up after a while of this back and forth, I knew someone else was out there, but I couldn't hear them. So it was I know I heard them at one point, but I don't hear them now, and I don't know if they're still here. So I went in and fought the boss, got the boss down to half health. Then I heard the guy outside, so I ran, and I was low on health. So I actually ran away, left the boss fight, went to a different area on the map to get supplies, and then came back. And when I was creeping up, I guess the guy heard me or saw me or something, because I'm creeping up and I just hear a gunshot, and then I'm dead, and I look at the kill view, and he hit me through a window, through up in this weird corner, and it just felt bad. But that's it, dude. Just Hunt really is the only fun type of stuff I've been doing. I guess I hung out with a buddy of mine over Sunday to Tuesday for his birthday.
Cool.
But yeah, I haven't been doing anything too awesome.
Yeah,
I guess
I haven't either, dude. I started playing a little bit of Warcraft 3 again. Just doing a slow grind on WoW.
You said you would never do.
What, Warcraft 3?
Yeah.
I didn't say I wasn't going to play Warcraft 3.
Oh, no, is it Warcraft?
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, the original.
Yeah.
That's the one you said.
Classic.
Yeah, classic WoW.
Yeah. Well, I've been playing regular WoW and also Warcraft 3, and it's been fun.
You have or haven't played Classic?
Well, I mean, I played Classic for almost a year
now.
of combined time.
Yeah.
No, I don't play it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't play it. No.
Okay. We're on the same page.
No. No way, dude. I'm not doing it, man. I told people, everybody keeps asking me that. It's like, to do what? Like I was,
To just grind out the same thing I already did.
Dude, I was like in that encapsulated time period, I was the best. Like I was as good as a combat rogue gets.
Yeah.
And so that's it. I don't.
See, I've never done that in a game.
Yeah.
I've never been at the top of the list. I've never reached max anything ever.
I was up there for a long time.
So.
Well, you were like at the top on Mario Kart when it first came out, right?
Yeah. When Mario Kart came out on the Switch, I was top 12 nationally for the airport time thing. But I mean, I guess that counts. Even that, I mean, I'm sure I'm nowhere near the top now. If I went back and looked, I mean, that was 2 years ago or whenever it was that it came out.
I don't know where I'm at in Warcraft 3 because they haven't did like a rank ladder yet.
Yeah.
But I only play 1v1 and I only win.
Yeah.
Or I win.
I mean,
I win 8 out of 10 games.
Sure.
And that's the hardest way to play. So whenever I was a kid, we played 2v2s a lot and stuff like that. And it's easier because you have the potential to hey, you make like heavy ground units, I'll make heavy air units, and we'll have our bases covered. Whenever you're doing solo, to upgrade everything correctly, that stuff costs gold. So final tier of upgrading melee cost 300 gold, 225 wood, which is more than the cost of building another town hall. So it's you can't effectively do it in a game. You'll get attacked before you would be able to make 1v1, be able to make a good balanced army. So I'd be interested to see where I'm at on it because
do they have a rank system?
No, they used to, but they don't have it right now. It is an MMR matchmaking based game. So
I will say it's not that impressive, but for the first time ever in a lot of these games I play, my KD ratio is actually positive, career wise, overall. And for a while, I was pushing. When I was playing Warzone, I was pushing my way up to 2, because it's it'll do 1 point whatever, and then 2, and so this year has been the first year that I actually cleared to make positive and was pushing to almost be, I guess, double or whatever. But then, for some reason, with every update that came out, the game was less reliable.
Yeah.
At least for me, I started getting audio issues, game issues, crashes randomly. And I tried uninstalling and reinstalling twice. I tried going through, looking up what the issues were that were causing it, and all the tutorials were oh, it's just this, change this setting, change that setting, and none of it worked, so stopped playing. But I mean, I don't even know in Hunt. I'd have to.
My KD ratio, I've thought about making another Apex account just because my KD ratio is so bad from all those games that we played the first season that we were playing it.
From Apex?
Yeah. It's 0.4 but I mean this.
That's the one thing that I think is dumb about Apex is that why doesn't it set or reset with the season? You know?
They do them season specific, which it's much better. It's
do they?
Mine is
I just remember being whenever I finally started to get good, it didn't matter because my KD ratio was never going to overcome the first.
Yeah, it's the same thing with me. And I mean, you've played with me recently. What we've won
2 or 3.
We won half the games that we've played recently.
Yeah.
I mean, Yeah.
I don't play a whole lot, but
yeah. I want to play more, but it just, I don't know, dude. The majority of the time whenever I play that game now, I end up within the last like 3 squads and dying as one of the last 2 is just one of the most frustrating things ever.
Yeah. This is the thing. So Logan and Corbin and everyone have been doing CS:GO, which is
toxic,
which is Valorant.
Yeah.
Or Valorant is CS:GO. Valorant's not a new game. I'm going to keep saying it. They literally just took CS:GO
and a little bit of Overwatch.
And the abilities are weak, dude.
Yeah. In that game?
In Valorant, the abilities are so weak.
Yeah.
There's like a handful of characters that are real good, and then there's the rest of them are like, why do I even have these? Anyways, so they're doing a CS:GO, and they have 4 people now. And so if I played as their 5th, I think it's 5 people. However many it is, basically they need one more person, and they're trying to get me to join so that they can play competitive. The problem is that in order for me to actually get to play competitive, I have to get like 10 more wins or something before it'll let me start playing competitive stuff. And I just don't want, I don't mind, I want to hang out and have some fun, but I just don't want another game to play. Like, that's the same reason a while back I deleted pretty much everything except Hunt.
Yeah.
It's because I really want to get good at the stuff that I'm doing instead of keep adding new stuff. Because it's like every week there's like a new, they're like, oh, let's try this game. Oh, let's try that game. And it makes me angry to play this stuff and be so bad at everything to where I'm just like, I don't want to play every game that comes out. I just want to pick like 2 or 3 and just stick with them.
Well, you're doing the right thing as far as like just playing Hunt and like Apex or whatever sometimes. I mean, that's what I've always done. I've always had a main game or 2.
If I'm about to go to bed, I'm playing Hunt.
Yeah.
If it's like I'm about to get in bed, I have 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever. I'm playing Hunt. Yeah. If I like this morning, if I wake up, I've got how long before I got to be at work? All right, I'm going to play some Hunt. Like, that's the game that I play, Yeah. But it's a very, it's not a very widely, I guess, liked game. It's like the people who like it really like it, but it's fun. So
I will say also, I guess I never brought this up. It's a noob hating game like I've never seen in another game. Like, whenever I first started playing, I would try and queue up in lobby, and anybody that was like over level 5 would just leave immediately.
No, that stuff makes me mad because I'm about to hit Prestige 3 already, and I like and there was like a time for like a few months where I didn't even play any video games, and so I gotta look at how many hours I've put into it. But whatever it is, like, I'm grinding away at it, and I get people who are like Prestige 12 that are like, I'm not queuing with you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but also, if you looked at our KD ratio,
I'll kill you.
Yeah, like, it literally, the ranking system, they don't have a ranking system in the sense of like you have like gold, platinum, whatever. Yeah. Their ranking system it's straight up, and the way I found out is because Corbin and I were looking at our sheets side by side. You can view like your friends and stuff, and I click on Corbin, and it just straight up says in like red letters above his name, is much less skilled. And then I was like, what the heck? And he clicks on mine, and it's like in gold, is much more skilled. So like they don't, It's a very, very it's not toxic though, really, in the sense of like I don't get people in there who are saying a bunch of toxic stuff in chat. But
I do, dude. In Apex?
Oh, no, I just meant in Hunt.
Yeah.
No, most people are actually pretty chill in Hunt. But, I mean, that's the same thing. Like, I'll queue up with just about anyone, but I already I play different when I queue. So like when I play by myself, I'm trying to play for win.
Yeah.
Like for the win. So I won't necessarily go for every kill. And my loadout will reflect my play style. If I'm queuing up with someone, I've got a class that I like playing with that I've put together. And I mean, I say I've put together. I've seen other people use it.
Yeah.
My preferred setup is the Romero 77 Talon. So it's this long break barrel, single shot, like 12 gauge shotgun with a saw blade on the stock. So you get one shot before you have to break the barrel and reload it. But then your melee is mistakes. Your melee is a really heavy melee attack. Well, then I'll pack for my sidearm. It's like a $275, which is super expensive for hunt. Pistol called the Codwell uppercut, which is a pistol that shoots long ammo, so rifle ammo basically. You only get like I think 15 shots maybe, or 16 or something, and so I packed that because that pistol gives me some range and some real like knockdown power, and that shotgun has the tightest choke of any shotgun. So I've got the most. I am the most effective in any. So like I can up close, that shotgun's going to tear someone up, and then even up to like medium to long range, I've got a solid, setup. So if I'm queuing with randos, I take that. I'm not risking. I'm not risking them running into a house, getting killed, and me having to go save them. I'm not trying to go in there with anything less than a shotgun.
Yeah.
And it's fun, dude. What I love about hunt is that it's not just your guns. It's all about the tools you bring and your consumables too. It's that can make or break the game. I've seen people win fights with a flare gun, which is stupid. But I mean, it's like sometimes you just, if you can use it right, because a flare gun will catch stuff on fire. Yeah. But it's a flare gun, so. And not only that, it's a 1800s flare gun. It looks like a tiny little blunderbuss, and you cram this little like fuse in there, and so it's a fun game though. I love it.
Yeah, I might have to start try it out again.
I think you're right though. When you're talking about there's so many monsters. That's part of why I love it, because it's a game. It makes the game slow. Yeah. Because you can bulldoze your way through that game. Yeah. If you know what you're doing, monsters don't matter. You can just be as loud as you want, get straight to the boss fight the boss. The problem is that game is so punishing. When you get hit, like when you get shot, it's not a good thing. Yeah. Most of those guns will take you out in 2 hits, 1 hit if it's a headshot, And so my biggest advantage when I play is my positioning, trying to make sure that no one knows that I even exist until I'm ready to fight. And then by then it's like, it's kind of too late, because now, especially when you have a good spot where not only can you see them, you can also see pretty much anywhere they would go. Yeah. So I like to get myself into corners, but exterior corners, not only like in a camping in a corner sense, but if I'm on the outside of the building, I like to try to find a spot slightly elevated, maybe not all the way up on like the roof or something, but slightly elevated where I can see this corner of a building, so that if they run, I can see them either way. There's really nowhere for them to go. Yeah. So, but that stuff's fun, dude. Yeah. Well, dude, we'll be doing some Destiny soon. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about that. So, well, yeah, man. You ready to get out of here? Yeah. All right. I reckon. Thank you all again for watching. This is episode 43 of Teddybears and Tentacles podcast. No. If you want to follow us on social media, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at TBAT Quinn. And give us some time for that lower third. And you are? Mine is at TBAT SKINERICK. Yeah. Follow me on Twitter. That's pretty much it. TikTok too. Yeah. I keep forgetting.
TikTok.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Yeah. Well, again, thank y'all for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.
I'm doing the awkward camera shot.
Don't do it, dude.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not even in it.
You're not anymore. I'm doing this every episode as we close.